Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Something family. What was that show? Extreme Home Makeover. That's what it was. Yeah. Remember everyone used to watch that back before like streaming services and shit were popular. That would be on like cable television. So it would be rare for people to like really get behind a show like that because it wasn't as accessible. I digress. Game dev. Let's do some game dev. Gonna be a short stream this morning. I do have to do work stuff today quite a bit, and I do plan on playing RimWorld this evening. Where is the engine? There it is. Hello. So I would like to get done with work sooner rather than later. I might stream that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the mod situation's looking like. After a new X-Pack comes out, it's always a little diffy. Okay, so I finished the UI refactor that I wanted. Everything is working. We have parity. I've adjusted some of the sizes of the UI windows, so hopefully those are a little bit better. Inspect. Talk. Now talk also closes the inspect window now, which is good. Inspect, let's make sure all of them do that. So generate quest. So he should be generating right now. And then join my colony, that works. Inspect, we can escape. Now, ooh, that's a good point. So inspect, escape. Inspect, escape. So yeah, the talk button doesn't show back up, it should. And honestly, talk should change to like select after honestly, talk should maybe just change to interact. Talk should maybe just change to interact. What kind of a quest is getting generated that is taking this long? Alright, show me the logs. Show it to me. He thinks to spawn. Oh, he's trying to spawn. He's going to spawn a humanoid NPC. You know what? Let me look and see if I can actually... that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, here we go. Nice. Here's the response. I don't know. Yeah, hang on. I'm gonna have to do it in this window because that one's gonna like include a lot of garbage. I want to grab the response here. Here we go. Nice. Okay, grab that. Give me a give me some stupid JSON formatter. Cool. Okay, yeah, give me that. Oh dear. Where are you? At Leah Dawnforge. Oh yeah, we have to like... yeah, do that kind of stuff. Now can it, there we go. Okay, now we can beautify it. Beautiful. Kind of hate this UI. Let's see. Talk to Silas Blackwood. Request mob data. Is a humanoid NPC. Wonderful. Obtain proof of Silas's wrongdoing. Things to spawn. Ah, he's the AI wanted to spawn a humanoid NPC named Silas Blackwood. That's cool. And it picked just some random ass location. Which honestly, I think it should have actually spawned something, if I'm not mistaken. Why is that so weird? Oh, and it's gonna reward me with a Mace of Mediocrity. Wonderful. I already have one of those, but thank you. Okay, well, we have that. Why is it... is it this website that's lame, or what? Is it showing up on stream that way as well? Oh, I need to change my... Chrome is being very weird today. Chrome is being very weird. One moment. Category. Welcome in. Okay. Well, I was just looking at the JSON response for this quest. Oh my god, it's so much text. It is always so much text. Now, this is the first one... Maybe I've seen one of these before, but I have not seen many... I have not seen many quests that get generated from the AI that have 3 options. Why come to me? Okay, so yeah, I was just going over, like, my UI finally has parity after my refactor, so it's back to where we started, which is wonderful. Turning cog. Unity port win. Tomorrow. Yesterday. I don't know. Insert funny, clever answer. Good morning, though. Good morning. I need better UI, because this is... Should I just make this wider? Now, if I close... Oh my god, it's so large. I should probably just make the text smaller on the... Just make the text smaller in here. Go 20. 20, and then make it, I think probably make it wider as well, and I've already broken it. Now this one is huge. So even if I don't... Is the text vector display? I don't know what that means in Unreal terms. And then where do I have the width on here? Do I have the width somewhere? Size box. Width override is 1000. What are it's 1920 by 1080, so maybe 1200. Okay. Let's I do need the output log. I do need that. I need a little loading spinner for the generate quest option. There it goes. And which model am I using for this? I've forgotten. It goes pretty fast. Oh, I'm talking to a priest. Or maybe I'm the priest. I'm using 2.0 flash, so I'm not even using the good flash. I'm using like the old flash. I wonder if I should update that. I wonder which one's faster. But anyways, we have the quest. Yeah, that's better, but that's not... We just didn't get a very long... Now I just need, like, the quest window to not be so tall. Right? If I just go F11, that's probably the best, Yeah, I think maybe just the quest window needs to be a little smaller now. No. Is it just quest window? UI quest. What are my quest things? Quest panel is what I call it. Okay. Where your size Y is... We'll just go... Oh, that looks so bad, though. It looks so chunky. I mean, that looks fine, I think. I mean, honestly, the text could even be a little bit smaller for the entries. Tell me more about the Whispering Seed. What kind of danger should I expect at the monastery? Wait, so let's read this quest. Let me hit me with the JSON. Give me the JSON of this. I think the JSON is the most interesting part because I can see what the model is intending to do with the quest. There could be a follow-up. There could be things it wants to spawn. Let me get a different JSON formatter because I don't like that one. That one was kind of uggo. Kind of uggo. I don't like that one either. I feel like this is the one I was just on. Oh well. Okay, we'll just stick with this one. See, did it... hang on. Did that show up like that on stream? Oh, okay, never mind. Make pretty. Okay. The Heretics Bloom, part 1. Do we have a... it didn't generate a part 2. So it intends for there to be a part 2, but it did not give it to me. Valen, is it? I hear you're a priest, a good man of the cloth. Look, I need your help, and it's complicated. There's a growing blight affecting the local flora. Investigate the old, abandoned Willow Creek Monastery for any information about the Whispering Seed. Okay, my action is to explore. Quest mob data, none. Location, 000. Hell yeah. I also need to interact with scrolls/journals. Read scrolls and journals found within the Willow Creek Monastery to find information on the Whispering Seed. And it's going to spawn 5 Monastery Zealots, which are the enemy character. Fun. No reward items. I do get 5 gold, 50 silver, 100 experience. It doesn't understand... it doesn't understand, like, gold and silver so far at all. That's okay. That's going to be the kind of thing that I probably need to generate, and I can't rely on AI for. It just doesn't understand numerical, you know, relative to how the game pacing should go. Level, maybe that's something. I mean, I think I'll probably input the level rather than output it. But, yeah, there's the quest. Can I get a quest with like a longer... let's get a quest with like a longer, hopefully, quest text. We'll just generate a few more. Generate quest. We're going. Yeah, I wonder... let me look at AI Studio. I wonder if 2.5 is faster than 2.0. Is there a way to tell that? 2.0 flash. Well, there's also flash light, which latency is even lower on that one. 2.5 flash. Okay, so it looks like 2.5 flash is a little, the latency is a little slower from their, like, little breakdown here. So the little latency is like, I don't know, like halfway right there. Ooh, they have 2.5 flashlight preview. Ooh, that latency is pretty low. I'm using 2.0 flash, which looks to be about the same. So maybe I can just get higher quality responses with 2.5 flash. And I have to like look up the model names on like how to put them into the request URL, because they have certain, of course, things you gotta like parameterize in there. Yeah, I mean, it's better, right? It's better. It's pretty small, but I think that's pretty readable, honestly. And yeah, if you go full screen, I think that's more than enough. Honestly, just everything's a little too big when I go full screen. I think I'm used to looking at the editor window, so I make it bigger than it actually needs to be. The whispers have... the whispers. Gemini loves whispers. Whispers have started again. Agonizing cries carried on the wind and in the forest and through the earth. They emanate from the old battlefield to the east, the one near Widow's Wood. I need you to find out what is causing this disturbance. Travel to the battlefield in Widow's Wood. Discover the source of the spirit's torment. Then and only then may you return. Okay, so here's another thing that the AI is kind of bad at. So like this part down here is what I just read. That's supposed to be the quest giver talking to me. What's over here is like my journal entry, right? This is supposed to be worded from the perspective of the player. And so one of these questions says, what do you mean by feeding on their pain? He didn't say that anywhere in here. It does say it in my quest log, which is supposed to be what the player, like, you know, writes down to keep track of the quest, right? That's like the stand-in for it. It says feeding on their pain right here. So the AI doesn't understand the difference. Now, I probably just need to explicitly prompt it to like, hey, don't, you know, make sure you don't reference anything that way, you know? Why come to me with this? Because as I said, it's inefficient for me to deal with it directly. He didn't say that. So yeah, a lot of work needs to be done on these prompts. And I made it to stick around when you look away and stuff. Why not make something creative and cool rather than relying on AI slop? You mean something like this? How about some procedural terrain? How about a infinite procedural terrain algorithm? Is that creative and cool enough for you? I've been working on this for almost 3 years now, Gerhardt. And yes, I plan on having AI generated quests because I am one man and there's no way that I can populate this procedurally generated world with quests that aren't generic. So yeah, I'm planning on using AI to explore that. Is it slop right now? Yeah. I hope for it to not be slop when it releases. We have underground caves as well. You let me know what's cool enough and creative enough for you. If this isn't cool enough and creative enough for you, I'll stop. But please enlighten us on what you've made that is so cool and creative to make you an authority on gatekeeping creativity and gatekeeping another person's exploration into new technologies. Because I'm gonna guess you haven't done jack shit. Or else you'd be out there doing it and not fucking ragging on people for trying to do something new and cool in a video game that hasn't been done before, like AI generated quests. Are we spawning guys? Like, where are my guys at? I see the logs. Oh, there they are. There's some guys. Welcome in now, everyone. Good morning. Do you cache these AI generated quests somewhere on disks? I will. Right now, it's just kind of like proof of concept at the moment. All I really do is get some JSON back, and then I save it in like the character's quest component. And so when you end game, they go away. They go poof. The character's backgrounds, though. So if I were to talk to them and inspect. What's this person's name? Come here. This is Zia Weaver. And so the names are like AI, like I just AI generated a bunch of random names just for placeholders and stuff. And then I AI generated some like backgrounds as well. It's like a character profile, and those are all just like stored in a data table. But they were AI generated just so I don't have to. But yeah, welcome in everyone. Good morning. We're doing some game dev today. I'm working on an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite with procedural destructible terrain and AI generated quests. And I was just looking at some of those when someone came in and said, why not make something creative and cool rather than relying on AI slop? So I had to go off and show them what I'd been working on, so that I could be allowed to continue. You know, like this entire procedural terrain algorithm. This is just one small section of the world. So there's me. I am in a zone next to a bunch of other ones. Iron Veil Crater, Abyssal Mire, Brimstone Crater, Deep Song Grotto. So I'm only generating a radius of about this big. So it's quite a large world. And that's what that little small radius is what we see here. I once thought about using graph database in game. A graph database, huh? What would you use that for? If I remember, ooh, there's like a big mountain over there. Let's go check that out. If I remember correctly, a graph database is, it can like spatially store things. Am I thinking about that right? I might be thinking of the wrong thing, but I know we have some. I don't know what teams use them, but it's a pretty niche use case. So I'm curious what you would use them for. To store all relationships between characters. I mean, what is different than just a, you know, many-to-many relationship? Or a one-to-many relationship? You know, what benefit would you get over that? Yeah, I do plan to store like some level of, like, I plan to make a sort of knowledge system to where I can like store what pieces of information like each character has, and then feed that to the AI. I think that would be pretty cool. But I don't know, also like databases are actually kind of slow, right? Like I don't think that's good for like runtime performance, at least when I tried to look at them. Graph database uses relational databases under the hood, but what is using the graph database abstraction give you that you can't just do from a regular, you know, how you would regularly store something like that in a relational database? Just visualization tools and specific query engine. Yeah, but then I feel like if you were using a database, like I was saying, like I feel like that would just be too slow for runtime. At least from what I've seen. That's more so for like storing things in a database would be more so for like persisting things offline in like a multiplayer game. So I feel like you'd be better off just using some sort of serialized to disk type approach. Mustafi, hello, welcome in. Good morning. I'm just tinkering with UI a little bit. I would not query it often. Yeah, it just seems overkill. It seems overkill for the benefit you get. Good evening. Oh, it's evening for you. My apologies, good sir. From Sydney. Nice. Out in the bush. Not really. Oh, I missed both of them. I do gotta say, the procedural terrain with the tall mountains is just, it looks so sick. It looks very sick. and then somehow force LLM to also query it. I feel like you'd probably just query it for the LLM. Like from what I found, like trying to get the LLM to do things, it's just better to do it up front for it for that specific case. It's just so much easier. At least with like this quest shit, like trying to get it to like, I would rather just roll the dice and say, generate an easy quest, generate a medium difficulty quest, generate a hard quest, rather than let the LLM decide for me what, you know, like things like that. You know what I mean? So I feel like, because it can't encode that kind of shit properly, consistently. And so trying to get it to like, and that's not exactly like a good example for what you're trying to do, but I feel like that's, I feel like what you're trying to do would be something that you should just query the relationships first and then dump that into a prompt. And I think that would be a lot better than like letting the LLM decide when and when it shouldn't query for character relationships. Uh-oh. Hello from Germany. How's the session going so far? We're just getting started. I had a little, I had a hater come in, so I had to prove him. I had to escort him out. I was just looking at the AI generated quest stuff, and he's like, why not make something creative and cool rather than relying on AI slop? And that's when I had to show him, you know, I had to show him what's going on. I had to show off what I've been actually working on. Because I was just looking at AI generated quest stuff in the test level, so. Wish I had the blue guy's energy. Me too. Last time you had trees in caves. Yeah, we did fix that. Yeah, it's been a while then since you last came in. So yeah, we have specific underground cave spawns now. Yeah, that was actually, it made, like, for regular Unreal Engine use cases, that would be pretty easy, right? But for me, I had to write, like, a pretty, it's called a DDA traversal algorithm. I don't know what the DDA stands for, but basically for a given line trace, I had to figure out which terrain chunks it would go through and then make sure that those are loaded first before getting to the end. Because, like, I essentially just line trace straight down. And if I hit a point that is not the current point that I'm considering, then the current point that I'm considering is an underground point. And if I do hit a point that is like on the height map or on, you know, on the point that I'm considering, then I know I'm on the surface, which is why we get things like that too. Like that's not technically in a cave, but it's there because it's, and I guess those maybe slightly, those are interesting ones. Like we had a point that was just like right on the side, so we got some sort of hit there. But yeah, the lighting is all weird over here. It's probably just because I'm not over there. I do love this big chunk taken out here. I do think we made some lighting changes too, so the caves are looking a little cooler now because of that as well. Oh, and then this is a meadows biome up here. I would like to go up there. Oh, how cool would it be if that tunnel went all the way down to the ground? That would be sick. If there was a tunnel that went all the way up to the next zone, oh, that would be so cool. There probably is like some seed that has that, right, somewhere. Yeah, funny. The hater has not responded to the allegations that I am not making something cool and creative. Funny. Funny. Anyways, let's get back to work. Let us get back to work. Which was, we're just doing a little bit of UI stuff. I need to I need to, what do I need to do here? Yeah, I was working on adding the colonist tasks. Right, so I have some code written for that. And I think this is good. I may need to rebuild. Do I have these yet? No, I don't. Okay, so we need to rebuild. Is this good? Entity, task type. Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and rebuild. That looks good. I might deprecate this one, because this is like specific things. Gather types chop for wood, yeah. Chop wood, yeah. So we're gonna have a little menu to select like a task type. Right now it's just construct, chop trees, and forage, which we'll need to write state tree tasks for that as well. But then we'll need to then have a menu that shows what target to do. Oh, it doesn't like the range. Cannot be used before it is initialized. How did I use it before? Huh? How come I'm able to do the same thing here? What's the deal? My god, it doesn't like that, does it? Use one of the enum range macros to define iteration semantics for enum type. Very much bedtime here. Have an awesome stream. Well, thanks. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Have a good night. Sleep well. Okay, let's look at these enum range macros. I guess enum range by values. Do I have any examples of this used? Wait, what? I don't want to have to manually specify them. That defeats the purpose. Enum range by count. Why can't I just iterate over values, huh? Bro, they do it. Why can't I? I literally do that in another place as well. I've done this in multiple places. Is there something different about the struct itself? Blueprintable, is it, oh, does it need the uint 8? I wonder. It might be the secret sauce right there. Before work, this is your work, you don't do anything else. I wish that was true. Unfortunately, I do have a job. I do have a job. Unknown enum type. That's not fucking true. That is not true. What is so different about this quest objective action? Enum, it says enum class. Enum class. Interesting. What does that fucking do? What difference is enum versus enum class? Okay, it still doesn't work. So nothing, apparently. Enum on his by design is intended for use with enum classes. Please derive your enum class from uint 8 instead. Oh, so now it's upset. Okay, so I can't do a t enum as byte. on the quest objective, on things like quest objective, yeah, that. But then I don't think it allows me to export it to blueprints, right? I can't do blueprint things. Isn't enum class used for forward declaration? I'm not sure. I have no idea. I did that at some point. I don't know why I did it. I'm quite sure that I can't do blueprint enums without t enum as byte, from what I understand. Where was the thing? Where was the other one? I'm surprised that writer doesn't have a little lint for that. I guess I can inline forward declare things. T enum as range still doesn't work. We're getting less errors though. I feel like we're getting closer. It really wants me to use the enum range macros, but those don't do what I want them to do. T enum range being compiled. I mean, do I just need to not do this in the loop thing? Is that... I don't know why I'm capable of doing that here. Illegal. Apparently that's illegal. Oh god. Unknown enum. It's so weird. Do I have to do this like in the same, like, do I have to do this in the header file? Because I guess the only difference I can see now is that this enum is defined in the same file. Yeah, maybe we'll try the little forward declaration thingy there. Still, yeah, still doesn't like it. All right, Unreal Engine, loop over enum, loop over all enum values for each over enums. I mean, I've looked this up before. That's how I got to the other ones. That's not in C++. Thank you. UE might... Does the enum just have a count thing on it? No, it doesn't. So I would have to define a count at the very end. Mark the last value for loop termination. That seems so annoying. Like, why can't I just get the values? I wonder, is there like a UEnum static thing? What can I get? Yeah, I guess there's not. How to properly loop through enumerations. I can do static enum. Just curious, do you get better performance with ray tracing on in UE? I have no idea. I haven't tried. Get can I get by get name by index? Can I get value by index? Get value by index. Returns an N64 though. Get value. So I can do something like this then. Can I like, if I do like a get value by index. Enum. Can't even type num enums. Can this be, can I cast this? Does that work? Cannot initialize variable. So is there something? How do I get the actual value of it? If I do that, what does this guy have? Get display name text by index. I hate that they do this is so hacky. That's so annoying. I don't want to give in to that. And then you can use a for loop. I don't have that on mine, and I can still use that. Oh, I put this here. I see. Okay, I do have to do that part. But okay, I see. Okay, I guess I have to. Do I have to do the class though? Can I get rid of those? And then I do the meta. What was the syntax? U meta hidden. Do I have to +1? No. I don't know why I would +1 there. Okay, we'll see if that works now. For each t enum range. Yeah, there we go. Get that back. Okay. Get rid of that. Okay, can we build now? Oh, I fucking changed everything from enum t enum as byte. We'll have to change all that back. Do you know what Twitch just added? No. Seems interesting. What are you trying to code? I'm working on a video game. I'm just trying to battle Unreal Engine's enum conventions. I gave in, so we'll do it their way. Are you still angry? Enum is byte. Enum is byte. What do you mean the overloaded function isn't found? Huh? What do you mean, brother? Const bool. Twitch just added that you can enroll in using your payout to buy bits or subs. For yourself or for other people? Do I need to clean build here? Maybe we need to clean build here. That's an interesting either. Is it like pre-tax or something? If it's pre-tax, that's pretty cool. Would that be pre-tax? Because like technically you're not making the money and you can just like say, hey, don't pay me. You know? Is that legal? Is it legal to not pay taxes on that? What's the problem? The compiler's just complaining. Just being a drama queen. Just gonna do a clean build. Okay, it's still, what is, okay, let's just remake this function. I don't know why it's complaining about this not having a, not being implemented. Oh god, I made that way too big. Go back to, yeah. Okay. What's your fucking deal, bro? Why don't you like, overloaded member function not found in uColony entity data? Is this like some special fucking term that I'm unaware of? Or, oh, do I need to like, is it because I'm do I need to do this? That's not right, because then it's not going to hit any of the overloads. And then this, it's just complaining here, I guess. That's great. Okay, we need to like compile without this. So, comment that out. Get available tasks implementation. I accidentally deleted that. Okay, yeah, just comment this out for now. I mean, we build, I assume, now. Okay, that built successfully. Okay, let's rebuild now. What's the issue here? I don't understand what the issue. It says it can't be found. Is valid task type. Is it because of the TENMS byte? I thought you had to have it as TENMS byte. Okay, it was the TENMS byte. It just wants the colonist task type? I thought blueprints didn't like that. I guess maybe it only wants that as a return type and not a parameter type. Okay, yeah, that worked. Okay, I mean, that's fine with me. I don't know why it sometimes wants a t enum as byte. Sometimes it just wants the enum. I'm unclear. Unclear on why in which scenarios that matters. We can get rid of this. Yeah, go away. Okay. Now that we have that, let's actually wire it up. Get available tasks. Nice. Oop. Oh, wait a second. That's not the right one. Get task types. There we go. Yay. Get entity. Is that not blueprint read? Is that not blueprint read? It's not. Okay. Should I make that blueprint read only, or should I instead change the... Let's make it blueprint read only. That's a useful piece of information to have. Unable to see. Well, I guess I could also... I already restarted, but I guess I could have also used the entity interface to like get entity, although I'm not sure that's... Yeah, that's not a blueprint function either. Maybe it should be. It doesn't like that. Wait, why doesn't it like that? Blueprint pure specifier is not allowed for interface functions. Okay. Wait. Blueprint implementable interfaces cannot contain blueprint callable functions that are not blueprint implementable events. Okay. I get it now. So picky. So picky. But I can just get entity now. I should be able to. There it is. Okay. So we have our available task types. So let's for each through these. And then we need to build a make colony task options. This is making the task options. Where's make colony options? Get available tasks. Yeah, so we need to change that to get task types. Okay. Okay, so for each of these, I need to make and add an option. I kind of don't like that I'm doing the option IDs, because it probably should just be based off of index. I feel like that's... Now I'm having to like... I'm having to like manually keep track of these IDs and stuff. Wow, cool music. Can you give me the name? It's right there. It's in the player. Bits and Hits on YouTube. on screen. Each song shows up in the player. On select task type. Handle colony task selected. And this is where I need to call the make colony task options, I suppose. Wait, where is this called from? I'm already lost again. Only from there. Let's call this task type options. It is Unreal Engine 5, yes. Join colony, do task. Yeah, that's all well and good. I guess the IDs for these are just the indices because there's going to be no other options in this options list. And then we can like get, wait. Enum2 name. Is there like display name? What else do I have here? Byte to enum. Is this a okay, I guess yeah, just name. Should probably make maybe a function for that. Hey, Squids with the sub, the prime. Thank you so much, my dude. Welcome in. Good morning to you. Welcome in. I hope you're well. Can I show you? Can I show you the game? Are you sticking around? Here's my procedural terrain algorithm. Look at it. It's my baby. Look at it go. I'm working on UI today, so it's not super exciting. But this is my latest terrain algorithm, which I think looks pretty fucking sick. And for those on YouTube Shorts just joining in, welcome in. I am working on a video game in Unreal Engine 5. It'll be an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite combo with procedural destructible terrain, AI-generated quests. Here's the world map, also procedurally generated. Each one of these is a different zone, and the different colors represent different biomes. Right now I only have like 2, so we need to add more. Right now it's really only this forest biome, right? But these different zones, they're based off of like WoW zones, is how I decided to do them. And so it's not like Minecraft or Valheim where the biomes just seamlessly blend from one to another. You know, these zones actually have names and they're going to have stories. They're going to be fed into the AI generated quests. There's going to be colonies in the little towns in these zones and stuff like that. And so each zone has these defined borders to them. Like the edges of the colors, I make an actual mountain, little mountain range here. And so there's an entrance chunk right here. And so when you walk over here and the world actually generates, it'll actually create like a little entrance, and that's what the white dots are. So that little white dot there, if that guy's health bar can get out of here, that little white dot there is actually how you would enter this zone. So if you picture like WoW zones, usually the zones in WoW have like these defined borders to them. And I think that creates this really cool moment when you cross the threshold into a new zone. Like when you go from like Barrens to Ashenvale, it's a very stark difference, right? You go from like an African savanna type zone into like an enchanted forest almost. And I think it creates this really like kind of awe-inspiring sense of exploration, rather than something like Minecraft or Valheim where it's just like you can see the entire zone as you're coming up to it, you know? It's not as exciting as when you cross the threshold into a new one. Yes, I do know you're Sammy. I appreciate your Prime sub though. Keep up the good work. Thank you, buddy. I hope you've been well. Hope you and your family are well. But yeah, we have different terrain noises in each zone, and this is actually a pretty good example of that. There's my shitty talent trees with reused WoW assets. You have a beautiful way of explaining your work. Thank you. I'm glad it comes off that way, and I'm not just rambling about nonsense. You know what I mean? You made your own terrain. What was the reason behind the decision to build your own custom terrain system instead of using Unreal's? Well, Unreal Engine you can't do runtime procedural terrain with Unreal Engines. It's not possible. It's not built for that. You can only build in editor things with the built-in Unreal Engine terrain. So I had to build my own system to accomplish what I wanted to. Like each pixel on here is a terrain chunk, and a terrain chunk is meshed by a dynamic mesh component, which is a built-in Unreal Engine thing. But the dynamic mesh component allows you to deform things at runtime, which allows me to have the destructible terrain. And I have that kind of proof of concepted at the moment. We'll see if I can actually get it to work. But yeah, there you go. So I can actually deform the terrain at runtime. It doesn't look good, right? I haven't actually textured the deformation. I basically just need to rerun my vertex data generator. So if I look at like one of these, I can generate and show vertex data. And I actually have the data for the textures here. Like these textures aren't just randomly placed. I mean, they're procedurally generated, but I have the data for it too, which will go into gameplay things. Like obviously when you hit rock, you want it to behave differently than when you hit dirt, right? And that works for my footstep sounds as well. If you listen, the footstep sounds change when you walk over dirt or grass. And I'll also have that for other gameplay reasons, like you'll maybe walk faster on paths that you build, or maybe even you know, there could be I'm thinking of like maybe a Zerg type race that spreads creep, right? It'll paint the creep onto the terrain. When your character's on the terrain, you know, you'll move slower, take damage, or something cool like that. You do game development for a living, and if so, was it what you expected doing for a career? I'm a software engineer for my career, so this is my like first project, right? I've been working on this for about 2.5 years, and I didn't really know anything about it before that. Nothing really about game dev or C++ or Unreal Engine or procedural generation. Oh, talk creep to me. So yeah, I want like a bug type race, of course. I mean, you know, something you could think of it like a Zerg type race, but there are corollaries to many other games as well. But like in RimWorld, which is what I'm basing a lot of my Colony Sim ideals off of, first thing players do is they like, not first thing, but like a lot of players, they will build their base into a mountain, right? And so I may even have them, yeah, like you might like dig into a mountain or something like that and put your base down in the cave so that it doesn't get raided, or it's more defendable against raids from like other humanoid factions that have like colonies or something. So like if you have a base just like right here and there's like another enemy base over here, they're just going to come over and attack you, right? And they could attack you from all sides, so you'll have to defend all sides. But if you put a base like down in a hole, all you have to defend is that fucking hole, right? So in RimWorld, they have bugs basically, and they can burrow through the ground and attack your base. And so when you put shit in caves or in underground, you can dig into, it's a 2D game, but when you dig into the mountains and build your base there, you have to deal with bugs at that point. And that's just a way to kind of like balance that. And so I plan to do something very similar. It's a lot more difficult in 3D than 2D, but you can imagine bugs will be spawning here. You build a base in here, there's just gonna be random events where bugs will spawn in your base and start fucking your shit up, basically. And they're just gonna spooge goo all over it, you know, bug goo and fucking creep, Zerg bug spooge creep, you know. It'll be yucky, you'll have to clean it up. Fire will probably make them susceptible to fire. So your system will allow the player to deform it so she can make tunnels and stuff like that. Exactly, yeah, precisely. It's not working super well at the moment. Because like, even if you look at this isn't the shape that you want it to be when you deform it. And also it's creating way too many vertices. Like if I try to zoom out here a little bit, you can see how many vertices my terrain has in comparison to the deformed bit. That's way too many. That's way too many. And I'm just using the built-in geometry script library functions for that, like a Boolean operation basically. There's like a little cone mesh on the end of my pickaxe that deforms the terrain. But I'll probably have to manually write the math to actually deform the terrain and build the tunnels to make it actually work better. It's the same thing that I use for the dynamic tree chopping, same concept. So like I've never seen a game do this before, but like wherever the axe connects is where you'll start chopping the tree. And then you get wood commensurate to the tree trunk's volume. And if you keep chopping, it'll eventually fall. The materials get fucked up. But now I have 8 wood. I have 8 wood now. And yeah, so that actually, these are static meshes, these trees are. But then when I hit it with the axe, it turns into a dynamic mesh, just like my terrain chunks. And the, I don't know if it'll show, but I do have these, does it show? Yeah, you can see my collision boxes here on the axe. So these like, it's very laggy when I show the collision, but these are like wedges that I put on there. So whenever this smaller wedge touches the tree, it'll subtract this larger mesh out. And I had to make them larger because it turns out that doesn't actually, you know, if you just make a chop section that big, it doesn't actually do what you would think it would do, what you would expect as a player. It's a little too realistic. But I intend to have like axe stats, and so like, all right, can I get down to my axe, please? There we go. Woody wood axe. And so it doesn't do very much damage, but I intend for trees to have like health, and then axe to have different like tree chop stats. Like you might have an axe that does a lot of damage to enemies, but maybe not so much to trees, you know. That may impact your decision on what weapon you want to use, right? Do I want to use a sword? Okay, well, I'll have to switch to my axe if I want to chop down trees. Do I want to use an axe? Do I want to specialize in axes? Then if so, that's great, because now I can chop down trees as well. Are you using Perlin noise? Yes and no. So Perlin noise is kind of like it's kind of like an old school noise almost. Ken Perlin, the creator of Troy, actually wrote the noise. But what we'll use now is like simplex noise, or gradient noise is like the general term for it. But yeah, there's a lot of gradient noise for this, and it's just noise on top of noise on top of noise, really, with different parameters. And so the simplex noise does not have the downsides of Perlin noise, where it has like a diagonal artifacting. So if you look at the noise from like a large scale perspective on Perlin noise, you'll start to see diagonal patterns on how the noise kind of accumulates and the coherence in it. And so it's a great first mathematical noise, but then some people improved upon that and wrote the simplex noise. So simplex is kind of like the successor to Perlin noise. But thank you for the follow and welcome in. Especially that you're just 2 years in game dev. That's kind of super advanced. Really looking forward to playing it. Yeah, don't hold your breath though. Come back in check back in 5 years. What kind of game will this be? It's going to be an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite combo with procedural destructible terrain. That's what we're looking at right now. And it'll also have AI generated quests. Like this guy. So let me generate a quest. This guy, what is your name? Hang on. Oh, he doesn't have a name. Oh boy. That's going to generate an instrument. Okay, so usually I pass in some AI generated childhood and background information and these traits, and also this information up here. So this quest, the AI actually said like, hey, generate a quest for a 0-year-old to give to the player. So it's gonna give me like a baby quest. No, come back. I keep pressing the wrong button. Maybe let's find a guy who's not level 0 to actually give me a good quest. Where am I in the world? Oh, he's like munching on some food now. Oh, here we go. Greetings, so this is an AI generated quest, right? So I basically take my entire game's item database and everything spawned into the world, and I just dump it into a prompt, and I say, hey, come up with an RPG fantasy video game quest and put it into a JSON object for me. And it actually does a pretty fucking good job of that. And then I can deserialize that JSON object into CPP structs and get that displayed in the game and stuff, which is pretty fucking sick. I can even get it to spawn things. Like I give it, it has an array that it can fill out for things for me to spawn. It just really sucks at picking locations for them to spawn. So that's something I'll need to work on. But apparently I'm a paladin. I also have a random set of generated background and stuff. But this person is saying, greetings, brave paladin. I'm still learning the ways of the world. Because they're 0-year-old. Could you possibly lend me your expertise in foraging? I need some mushrooms for a potion I am attempting to make. And here's the quest panel over here. A young paladin, seemingly freshly ordained, has asked for my help in gathering mushrooms. Apparently, she's having trouble distinguishing between the edible and potentially less pleasant varieties. I've agreed to show her the ropes, or rather, the roots. I love that. Gather 5 white mushrooms and 5 brown mushrooms for the young paladin. So it has my objectives there and some rewards. Why do you need these mushrooms? I'm trying to learn potion making. Our order requires us to be self-sufficient, and potions are quite useful for healing and, well, various paladin-y things. What kind of potion are you making? Just a basic healing draft, but I don't want to accidentally create a poison instead. I can help you with that. Oh, thank you so much. I'm still learning to tell the difference between the safe and less safe mushrooms. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. And he goes to eat some more. He got hungry during that. For just a year into game, about 2.5 years. Okay, here's someone with an actual background. I'm gonna generate a quest and inspect him. Okay, so Jael Stonebridge is a 24-year-old male gnome shaman. Because that makes sense, right? Who is cowardly but intelligent. Jael was a frail child, often bullied for his timidity and love of books. While he yearned for adventure, fear usually kept him from acting on these desires. Despite his cowardly nature, Jael possesses a keen intellect. He devoured books on strategy and history, fascinated by tales of bravery and heroism. This eventually led him to studying shamanism. Wonderful. So let me talk to him now. Oh, and my name is Kit Whisper, apparently. I'm a paladin. Greetings, Paladin Kit Whisper, is it? I'm Jael Stonebridge, shaman in training. Well, mostly in theory. Really, I have a problem. A rather pressing problem, actually. You see, I've been tasked by Elder Willowbrook, which is probably an NPC that has actually spawned in the world, which is cool. Like, that is a name in my database, so that NPC is probably somewhere in the world, who is also a shaman. I've been tasked by Elder Willowbrook, a rather intimidating dryad. Oh, I wonder if it generated a dryad race too. Interesting. I must admit, with gathering specific reagents for a very important potion, a potion of courage, you see, for medicinal research, of course. The first on this list is Tears of a Goblin Chieftain. So I was hoping you, a paladin and clearly very brave, would be willing to procure them for me. And so the quest panel is Jael, a gnome shaman in training, has tasked me with acquiring Goblin Chieftain tears for medical research. It seems he's too afraid to face the goblin himself. I need to head to the Whispering Woods and extract some tears from a Goblin Chieftain, then return to Jael. Why do you need goblin tears? Ah, yes, the reason. Elder Willowbrook needs them for a potion. Very potent potion that she says will help our community. It's meant for medicinal research and to further her skills. Where can I find this Goblin Chieftain? The Whispering Woods to the east, I believe. Should have some roaming on the outer edges. And so, if I check the logs, which there might be too many to check this, but we'll see. Where's the log window? I want to take a look at the JSON response that we got from that. But doesn't AI only generate quests based on prior game quests in this genre? Quests are really a selling point in RPGs. You sure you want to let an AI do this for you? Well, the point is to make it sandboxy, and if you played a game like RimWorld, I think you'll understand the appeal of it. The point is to just add a flavor to the sandboxy nature of the Colony Sim RPG combo. And it's taken forever to render the logs. We're nice and frozen. But I can also, I'm using the Gemini API because it's fast, cheap, and has a 1,000,000 token context window. And if you don't know what 1,000,000 tokens is, it's essentially 4 novels, which is you can fit most of Game of Thrones in that, right? So I do plan on passing a lot into the prompt and the character's entire history, the zone's history, what quests have happened, in the zone, what the lore is of the game overall, that kind of stuff. So I should be able to generate some pretty interesting stuff, interesting enough to just give things for the players to do while they're exploring the world and engaging in the gameplay, right? Because if I didn't have AI to do the quest for me, I would just be relegated to doing procedural quests, which again, if you played something like, oh yeah, the logs are long gone, so never mind. I was gonna look at the JSON because I'm pretty sure, because it wanted me to kill a goblin, or rather Yeah, it says defeat Goblin Chieftain. So I'd imagine I can show you like an example of this maybe. Yeah, so here's like an old one here. But I have this like things to spawn array, and it has picked like, this is spawning an NPC named Silas Blackwood that's using my humanoid NPC class, spawning one of them at this location. So I'm imagining that quest did the same thing but with this Goblin Chieftain. It sucks at picking spawn points, so that's something I'm probably gonna have to do for it. But yeah, I'm sure that I want quests to be procedurally or AI generated. And they're not going to be like super high quality. They're not going to be, and I will have some of my own probably handmade ones, but I can't fill the whole world that way. So yes, I'm sure I want this to happen. And I think you'd be surprised at the level of depth that some of these can get to. And you made a dialogue system. Kind of. It's kind of just like a stand-in, that little dialogue system there. And it's what I'm working on today. I've been working on UI for the past few days, refactoring some of my systems that I have, and then working on trying to get colonist tasks back up and running. So as a part of this game, like what I want to do with the Colony Sim is have the whole world be online. And what I mean by that is like, if you build a colony here, and then you run way over here, which is like a kilometer away, I still want your colony to be running. I still want all of your entities, your colonists, to be running around, you know, doing the things that you've set them up to do. If you sent them out to go chop trees, I don't just want you to get like, you know, you have 4 guys chopping trees, so you get 40 lumber per hour. I don't want that. That sucks, right? I want them to actually run out to the forest and chop the tree, bring it back to the lumber mill. The lumber mill has to process it. You know, you need haulers to get the lumber, you know, to where it needs to go. You need constructors to build it, that kind of thing. And if there's wolves in the forest, I want your colonists to get attacked. So you'll need to make sure they have proper equipment, they're leveled up. You're not sending them into too dangerous of a zone. And I want your base to get attacked too. And that can all happen while you're away because it's running. And so as a part of that, I had to write my own ECS system, which is just, it stands for Entity Component System. So kind of like ATM machine, it's one of those things, but it's just a really efficient way, really performant way to run thousands and thousands of entities. And I basically rewrote some of the collision system in Unreal Engine to run on the background thread. I had to write my own velocity and gravity processor to move them around. Like there's no, these guys don't have collision on them at all. Like I had to write my own like physics basically to keep them on the ground. And to apply gravity and stuff like that, all on the background thread. So it's very, very efficient. We'll see. How many do I have right now? Let's see how many I have right now. It gets very laggy when I do this. I have like 1,200. I have like 1,200 spawned right now. I need to make sure I turn that off properly. Stop. There we go. Because that gets very laggy. That's like the debugger I use for it, but it logs everything, so it's very laggy. And there's a lot of technological hurdles that I have to get over. One of them is like, how do I make sure that it's running when, like, you know, I can't have all of the terrain meshed at all times. That just takes up way too much memory. So what we're looking at here is the nav mesh, the visual nav mesh representation, and why you may see some of these things floating in the air. So the terrain chunks are not just invisible here. They're actually, they don't exist here. And you can set things to visible, not visible, and still they still exist, but they're just not shown. That's not what's happening here. So all of the vertex and triangle data, which is all of this information that is about to show up, all of this information I save. And that is like the vertex and index buffers. It's basically the 3D points in space and then the order of indices that connect the triangles in the proper order. And I can export that to the nav mesh, and the nav mesh knows how to represent that. And so now, because of that, I can move my entities around on the background threads on this nav mesh, even though there's no terrain actually there. I can also take that data and I can store it in a spatial data structure, like a bounding volume hierarchy. This is essentially how collision works under the hood to some extent. I had to do it myself with this data to
save on memory. That's my biggest bottleneck. But that's how I'm able to do collision traces, right? If I didn't have that, I would have to iterate over every single triangle in these buffers and check for a line segment triangle intersection, do some geometry math on it. But because I have these, I can know that there's only a certain number of triangles I need to check, and it depends on the resolution of my bounding volume hierarchy. And I use that to do line traces for PCG. And if you're familiar with PCG and Unreal Engine, it pretty much entirely works off collision. You need to sample points on surfaces, which is how all these things get spawned. And you need to sample those points using collision. But I'm not always going to have collision, so I can't rely on that. I had to write my own PCG nodes to work within my own collision system to use that same data so that I know where the terrain is going to be. And PCG knows where a tunnel is going to be. There's going to be a tunnel right there whenever that terrain chunk gets shown. And so these are just kind of some of the technical hurdles that I've had to go through to enact the vision of what I want. And so that's how I plan to efficiently run thousands and thousands of entities on the background threads and stuff like that. And like even right now, every single frame in a background thread, so not every frame, but just in the background, as the velocity processor is moving these guys, it's also doing that same line trace against that same spatial data, those vertex and index buffers on the terrain, to make sure they stay on the terrain. So it's happening all the time. So that's kind of another little piece of innovation that I'm trying to go for. Not only am I trying to combine these genres that I don't think have been combined before, at least not from my knowledge, but I'm trying to, push the technological limits. And I probably won't be able to run. I'm definitely not going to run every single entity. And like the red guys, like they don't have it really any logic. They just kind of wander around. I don't even think they just wander around. So I definitely don't need to be running those guys, right? I can turn those ones off whenever the player goes out of view. But when there's actual like towns and I want like AI ran colonies and factions for you to be able to interact with, I will try to run those, right? And so I'll need to treat these, the guys with actual logic on them, I'll need to treat them as kind of entity ECS and invokers in a way to like turn on certain like wolves in the forest that I don't really want to fully run. Yeah, I hate it when that happens. That's a stupid bug. So yeah, that's the game. That is the game. And so I was saying I was working on UI. And the reason I'm working on UI is I built this walking voxel algorithm that you can use to define areas. And so I could say like, oh, dig here. I could say plant crops here, stay within this area, store things, drop off a bunch of stuff in this area to my colonists. And it's just a way for the player to represent where, really just somewhere in the world. And I can't just have it be a box with like a decal because of my concave terrain. Like if you're on a slope and you select, if you were to do something like this, where you've kind of like, you've selected a, it wouldn't really work perfectly with an underground cave, especially if you don't know one's there and you do it on a slope. Like if you imagine this box just going like this or something, there might be a little cave under here that you select, and you might accidentally send your colonists into a cave that's like kind of dangerous or something. And that would be bad for the player to experience that. So I wrote this kind of like, I call it like a walking voxel algorithm, because it just walks these little voxels out from the starting point of wherever you select, and then whatever it can reach is what it kind of like selects, right? And it does the same collision system that I was just talking about earlier that I had to manually write to check for overlaps in the terrain or other things. Like this will also wrap around buildings and stuff like that. And it'll handle not selecting, tunnels that you don't mean to select or that you don't know are there and stuff like that. How much progress have you gotten? Andrew, that's a pretty general question, I don't know how to answer that. I don't know how to quantify that for you. Yes, I'll just say yes. So yeah, I'm trying to, I just, did this system. I have an area here, I can get the overlaps of it. But now I need to be able to tell my colonists to go do something in that area. So I'm working on the UI for that. Come here. Come here. So join my colony, default player colony. Now there's supposed to be more that show up there for like available tasks. So that's what I'm working on. So just I refactored a bit of the. Apparently I'm still talking. I need to work on the interaction. Yeah, I'm like still talking to him. I'm like stuck interacting. There we go. Now he's off. He's looking for food. There's no food, buddy. When they get hungry, they just run around and search for food. Okay. Back to work. Handle colony task. Well, the colony task itself is not even showing up. Make colony interaction options. This is the this was my like copied logic. Colony data is valid. If I don't belong to a colony, yeah, we have the join my colony. If we do belong to a colony, get available task types. Is it empty? Let's print the string. Let's print a string here. No available task types. Breakpoint that as well. Yeah, are we crashing now? Yeah. Turns out Unreal Engine doesn't like compiling blueprints at runtime. Since yesterday, have you done what you wanted to like? You have a goal that you reached yesterday. I mean, I don't know if I really set goals on that granular on a day-to-day basis. I did just go over like where I'm at in the process, so hopefully that's somewhat illuminating for you. Damn, normally I go on YouTube and see brain dead shorts, but watching you working on this game is bloody amazing. Best of luck, mate. Keep it up. Well, thank you. Thank you for the kind words, my brother. Yeah, this is a 100% USDA certified, brain rot free stream. I can assure you that. We meme a little bit here. We do a little bit of memeing, but no brain rot. Yeah, Andrew, yesterday I think I was just refactoring the UI interaction options, and so that part is done, and now I'm just adding new colony related interaction options to my UI. That's kind of where I'm at right now. And so the new RimWorld expansion is out today. And so I will be playing that later. I have to go to work, so I'll probably be hopping off here shortly. Or probably within the next hour or so. But I'll be working, and then after I'm done with work, I may do a RimWorld stream. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. But RimWorld is like my favorite game of all time, I think. And it's a big inspiration for me. That and Vanilla WoW, I think, are my two biggest inspirations. And this game is certainly not going to be an MMO. But I think the Vanilla WoW, in terms of the combat and the class design and the talents and the abilities, that kind of stuff. The RPG side of it. But the Colony Sim side of it, very inspired by RimWorld. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to play that. Okay, let me switch back over to my little test level to speed this up a little bit. So we're not showing the interaction options, and I did just put that like little breakpoint thing in there. Kind of want to try RimWorld. It's not my typical game genre, but it looks interesting. Well, maybe you can tune into the stream later if I stream, and you'll You can see if it's something you're interested in. Yeah, it's not showing up, and I'm also not hitting that breakpoint. But yeah, have you played Colony Sims before, Draconin? Will there be somewhat of a story kind of stuff? Yeah, eventually. Not super high on the priority list at the moment. Okay, let's clean this up a little bit. So we don't need to, I don't need to worry about quest related stuff anymore. We finished that. We can get rid of all these tabs. Join colony, that one's fine. Make root interaction options, which does do the colony, it calls the colony options. I think the closest thing I played was Farthest Frontier. I think I know that one. Yeah, I played that one a little bit too. That one had some cool things, but I didn't find it very replayable, unfortunately. I'm sure they've done more to it now. I played it pretty early on when it released. But how did you enjoy it? Was it good for you? RimWorld is yeah, RimWorld is very, very depthy. And it's one of those games where you kind of have to struggle. You have to struggle before you can walk, before you can run kind of thing. And you should, I think that you should play it on commitment mode, like no save scum mode. I think that's the funnest way to play it. Because like there's a mode where you can just reload any save. And so it's like anytime something bad happens, you just reload it and then you nail it, right? Which is not very fun. You know, play on whatever difficulty you want to, but I think you should play it on commitment mode where you can't save scum. Because it just makes the game so much more compelling, and it makes the game about the journey and the struggle. And you know, when you lose a really good colonist and your colony is like crumbling because you got raided and someone's wife died, so that, and the guy whose wife died was your only medic and he had a mental break, and you got someone bleeding out on the ground, there's a fire going, the fucking animals that you know, your ducks are running all over the map because the raiders destroyed a fucking your pin enclosure, you know, the chaos and all the insanity that ensues because you can't save scum is the most fun part of RimWorld for me. And I've never beaten the game, and I don't want to. I don't play the game to get to the end, which, like, there's various endings, but they all relate to kind of getting off of the rim, the world that you're on, because you've like crash landed on the rim and you're trying to get off or something like that. It's kind of like the generic scenario, but I never actually do that because I don't care. Like, I eventually get to a point in the colony where it's like self-sufficient, and all I have to do is like research the stuff or whatever to like, and then build it to win. And then I just kind of like lose interest in playing, and I want to start like a new colony. Like, I almost like play to lose. And RimWorld has this like really cool game design encoded into it, where it like pushes you to the brink, but then it pulls back, and it allows you to recover and rebuild from the ashes a little bit. And I love that it does that. Because it really like, I mean, you definitely can lose. Like, you can lose. Sometimes it just pushes you too far and you just die. But like when raiders attack you, they don't just like attack you till everything's dead. They attack you until most of the things are dead, and then they maybe will just kidnap some colonist or steal some shit and then run out of there. So it's not, they don't just like, they don't go for the kill, which is honestly pretty similar to how things would probably be in real life. Like, not like I want to kill everyone. I just want like some loot or something, you know. I would just want to kidnap some people. You know, if I were a raider, you know, in real life, in some real life Mad Max scenario, that's what I would do. Then they also have this mechanic, like the Man in Black. So if all of your colonists are downed, like this random guy will just join your colony, and he's just like, he's got a black hat and a black duster, and all he's got is a revolver, and he like just comes in to save your colony. Right? And so you get that one chance every playthrough to like use that. And sometimes he sucks because he just has randomly rolled stats too. So sometimes it's like he can't even be a medic, so he's like useless, but you can still rebuild the colony with that one guy. Maybe all your old colonists are dead that you've become attached to, but the story can go on. And that's why it's called like a story generator. Because it's more so, it's just a sandbox for a story, really. It's not like a game with like a lore and beginning, middle, end kind of thing. Will there be different types of playable species? Yeah, in my game, I do want some different races, yeah. But anyways, I'll digress on RimWorld and why it's so great. But yeah, playing RimWorld for the first time, you will learn a lot by losing. And that's okay. Because you will be upset that you lost your colony at first. But you'll learn to like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't build everything out of wood because when wood gets hit by lightning, it burns down and destroys everything. Right? You'll start to learn these little things each playthrough. And then the next playthrough, it'll be completely different because you'll be in a different environment with a different biome, you'll have different colonists, different random events will happen, and it's really fun. It's really fun to go through that. And that's why I think you'll kind of ruin it for yourself if you save scum. If you play the save scum mode, because you're not going to get all of these novel experiences that happen, all the randomness and chaos that happens in each playthrough. And that's really interesting. I've heard about the story aspects before, which seems unique to a colony sim. Yeah. There's not a whole lot that give you kind of that narrative reason to push forward, right? And just like even things like down to the little like random ass interactions between the colonists, you know, it's like that can be pretty funny too. Story generator generating a pre-programmed story. Nothing new here. Joe, I think you may be new here. I don't think you know what you're talking about, my brother. What is that program? We're looking at Unreal Engine right now. Is there a day and night concept and seasons? In my game, no, not yet at least. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. In RimWorld, yes. There is both day, night, and seasons. All of the above. Oh, it didn't save the change that I did. That's why. But yeah, enough glazing RimWorld. Let's get back to my game. Yeah, I'll just fucking put a breakpoint on there. Join my colony. Okay, so the available task types is none. So maybe we need some CPP debug pointers here. Oh yeah, I commented that out. That fucking explains it. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. Yo, what's up, man? Harjot, welcome in. Was it a pain in the ass to integrate ALS? Integrate? No. It works pretty well out of the box. To customize to my liking, yes. It was a massive pain in the ass to change it from its base state. And I'm using the C++ refactored version, which is like a GitHub repo. I'm not using the Fab, the marketplace plugin. How hard can it be to recreate a game as big as World of Warcraft? Well, kind of depends on how you go about it. If you hand make it, it's going to be very hard. You can procedurally make it pretty easily, but that doesn't mean it's going to be good or interesting. So. Yay, do task. Okay. Now selecting do task does nothing. On do task selected. Yeah, okay, so that would be why it doesn't do anything. So I need to take the interaction options widget. We're going to get the interaction option containers that exist on there already. And I just need to add on this, split that so we can go in here. Yeah, we're just gonna add here. But wait, if I select it and if I go back, do you play park builder games? Used to. I can't say that I've done it very recently. I used to love like RCT 2, a little bit of Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. I played a fair bit back in the day. Not very recently though. Tried ALS a couple times, but with the new motion matching system, I definitely prefer motion matching. Okay, you're the second person I've heard that says that. I looked at motion matching and it looked even worse than ALS in terms of complexity and just like there was like 150, 200 animations in it. Like that's insane. Like I don't want that many fucking assets. You know what I mean? And like you had to like switch the database things out and like there's all these curves and stuff. Like it just seems so heavy. And like it seems great for like a large studio with like actual animators and stuff, the people that work on that specifically. But like for a solo dev or for like indie dev size things, it did not seem worth the effort. It does look good. I can definitely say that. What do you think is the hardest task in game dev? For me, it's the base mechanics. Maybe it's because I'm new in this field. Yeah, probably. Those will definitely get easier. What's the hardest task in game dev? I mean, that answer is going to vary for everyone, right? What's the hardest for me personally? Honestly, animation, I think. Doing the not like making the animations. Well, that is hard, and I'm just not going to do that. But like the technical animation is the hardest for me, because I'm a software engineer. I'm used to discrete problems that have a solution, right? That's why I like doing like RockGen and stuff like that. But the like doing the artsy side of programming, the technical side, like being a technical artist, you know, doing material things, or I mean, even sometimes material things have like an answer, but like the animations, like they don't have an answer, right? They just look better or worse. And so it's like, for me, that can be kind of difficult to get to a good spot. One, because I don't know the ecosystem very well, but two, also because it's not a discrete problem with a solution. Like I don't know when I'm right and when I'm wrong as explicitly as I do when solving other types of problems. Graphics programming. I've done a little bit of compute shadering myself. My procedural terrain algorithms are in compute shaders. It is kind of annoying code to write because it's like it's like very fast but very inconvenient to write. It's not too bad though. The boilerplate, I think, you know, the ecosystem around getting a compute shader to run, I think, was worse than writing the actual compute shader. Which combination of game genres would be the hardest to develop? You know, I don't know that there's a single answer to that. I think you can take any genre and make it more or less difficult. Just kind of depends on the execution, really. My favorite game, most likely JW Evolution 2. Yeah, I haven't heard of that one. Anyways, colony task selected. Handle I'll just say handle do task selected. I think that's a better. Is that what I called it here? On do task. Yeah. Okay. So handle do task selected. Make the colony task type options. Add it to the already existing container in a new options list. And then, well, I think I just need to. Isn't it like set? Don't I have a function for this? Set dialog. Is it set dialog data? What is it here? That sets the dialog though. We want update interaction widget. That's what I want. But I don't want to override it though. That's the problem, because we're just directly setting it. Okay, let's I think that's fine, because after we interact, it will refresh and pick up the new ones, if I'm not mistaken. Now, what happens when we select the new ones? We do on select task type, but then nothing happens because we don't have a function for that. So handle select task type, on select task type. Well, let's on. I've changed my naming convention here. I need to stick to my naming conventions. On task type selected. And then let's change that. Here we go. Handle task type selected, throw that in the colony category. Task type selected, that's just going to be stubbed out for now. Let's just print a string here. And then I may need to, yeah, I need to pass in the interaction option there. Can I like, is there not a way to like automatically like add this as a parameter or something? We want an interaction option. I think the interaction text option is what I want. Chosen option here. Then we can just do a little log here for chosen option, and then let's split that and just grab the text there. Maybe I'll throw the ID in there. ID blank. Okay. We'll just make sure that all matches up. Let's stop and replay now. Right now I struggle a bit with mechanics. Maybe it'll get easier with time and experience. It definitely will. You keep pushing. JW Evolution 2 is short for Jurassic World. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm unfamiliar with the game. Totally agree. Hardest part in game dev is kind of preference for everyone. Yeah, kind of just depends on the person. Have I tried Unity? I've dabbled in it in the past a long while ago. I have not done it recently. Here we go. And my IDs look good. Now I should probably make a map of like display name here. So let's make a little static function here. So a U function for blueprint callable. We can do blueprint pure. I don't know that I need blueprint native event on that. It can be entirely in C. This is going to return an F name, get task name, and we just need the the E colonist task type. Get task, call it get task type name. And then let's just like, where is my, here it is. My cursor was nowhere to be found. Return, and then I need some static list that I can actually build out here. Oh, but isn't there a, I can do like the U meta display name. There we go. So I can just do that, right? I think I can actually just do that, which is way more convenient than what I was about to do. Display name, none. So actually let's not include that. So return task type right now not equal to none, which we can just do as that. Task type none. UMeta construct, chop trees, forage, and then that one's hidden. And I guess we can probably do, and just to make sure, and task type not equal to count. Yes. Okay, so let's rebuild that, and then hopefully they'll show up correctly in game. What's your favorite part of making a game? Usually just being able to use creativity and come up with a vision to like express myself and solve problems in doing so. Like I really like the intersection of problem solving, building something, being creative, and like executing a vision. Sometimes for me, it's not even the game dev, it's just the procrastination or mental blocks. Yeah, it's really you know, getting over yourself, you know, your own personal challenges. the internal mental like there are a lot of tips on do this, do that, but I think we got a bit immune to that kind of motivation. I definitely did. Yeah, I tend to not like listen to, and this is just probably me being stubborn, but I tend to not like really when someone says like, oh, like one I always hear is like, oh, if you're starting in game dev, you need to make a small game. You need to start small. And I think that can be good advice for some people, but that's not like it. I think it more so depends on like what goal you have. Like my goal is to not just make a game. My goal isn't to release a game. My goal isn't even to get into the games industry. I don't want either of those things. My goal is to work on this game. So it really depends on what your motivations are. Okay, so the name didn't show up there. But yeah, I tend to not really listen to other people when they say like, you need to do this way or something like that. I like to kind of find out for myself. And sometimes that means it takes longer for me to do things, but I think I get a better understanding for why when I shoot myself in the foot, I get a better understanding of why I shouldn't shoot myself in the foot. Because that's a totally understandable corollary to the concept that I'm talking about. Yeah, so where was my make colony task option? So we're just doing this thing. Enum to name. Literal enum column task type. Get name. I still don't have anything here. There's definitely a way to get the display name, right? How do you get the display name? Unreal Engine, Blueprint, get enum, display name. You can simply cast it to a string. Okay. There's the secret sauce. Okay, yeah. Okay, now they're showing up properly. Okay, so we have our tasks. Yes, we have our tasks there. Starting is always the hardest part. 100%, yeah, 100%. Every step thereafter gets easier and easier to take. Okay. Now what do I do? First of all, let's get rid of that. We've gotten parity. Let's clean the, before I start adding a bunch of shit, let's clean up after ourselves, okay? So finish command. We may want to keep that and on tree chopped, equipment refreshed. On join colony selected can go away. The individual options can go away as well. Same with the end on quest selected. I don't need this. I don't think. I mean, I'll keep it there, but that's just empty. I think I'm using that, but it doesn't need to be like a find eating spot is not used, but I may use that in the future. Refreshed, chosen option delegate. Yeah, those we'll keep those around just to use them as reference points when we redo that functionality. Post task updated. Okay, I think I need to keep some of that stuff in just so it doesn't complain. Behavior tree. No, I use state trees. Handle non-command option. We can get rid of that. Okay. So yeah, a lot of these, yeah, we're just gonna like delete basically. Yeah, refresh interaction options is dead to me now. Thank you for your service. Goodbye. Use interaction option by ID. On talk option selected, that can die as well. We've just re-implemented that in blueprints. Use interaction option. End interaction, we still need that. Interact, we still need that. Is interactable, we can keep all of that. Where is this used from? Yeah, that's our biggest bit of cleanup there. Get available tasks. Are we using that anywhere anymore? No. So I think I'll keep it around for now, I think, just to use it as a reference. I'm feeling the work thing, you're a bullshitter. Why would I bullshit about that? No, I was gonna get off at 11. So I was gonna get off here in about a half hour. Okay, let's clean this up. So this is commit this. This is going to be refactor interaction system use delegates per option. And anyway, and push. Yes, push. Okay, so we've cleaned that up a little bit. Now, what do we want to happen when the task is selected? So I need to come up with, yeah, we probably need to range each of these. Yeah, and I can't just do count here, right? I have to do like task type count, which is annoying. It's annoying that these aren't unique within the enum, like they exist outside the enum as well. Gonna be task target count. What inspired you to start making games? Playing games. I love playing games. Nervar, hello. I've noticed that you're Googling instead of AI. I know, I'm such a fucking boomer, aren't I? Jesus Christ. Can you imagine? Looking for an explicit answer? Today's day and age? AI is not very good at game dev, nor is it very good at understanding the Unreal Engine ecosystem. There's just not enough training data on it. Bro, how to start coding. Type that into Google. Type those very words into Google and you are on your way. What am I developing? We're working on a video game. It's going to be an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite with procedural destructible terrain and AI generated quests. So yeah, now we need to create options for each of these. So let's write some functionality for that. So now we need a function to be in blueprints for the task targets. And so yeah, colonist get available tasks. I mean, we can just copy that. I don't want interacting actor. We do want entity because I may need that in the future. Get available tasks now turns into get available task targets. And so I probably need to pass in the task that was selected. Colonist task type. Get available task targets. Now you're mad because you're not implemented. Let's do that. I hate how it keeps putting it underneath the available tasks. Like that's not where I want you. Okay, I didn't name that. That makes sense. Have you thought about a name for the game? Nope, still called My Project. AI is still not there, it hallucinates a lot. Yeah, it's very inconsistent. And it takes time, right? A Google search is pretty instant. And I can know, usually within the first page of search results, if the answer I'm looking for is there or not, you know? Or if I need to figure it out myself. Especially with Unreal Engine, like there's not a whole lot of documentation, especially for C++ things, so I'm mostly just up to figuring things out for myself. Yeah, it's just it's not good at, like, if you've worked with Unreal Engine before, you'll understand what I mean when I say that, like, it just doesn't understand things about Unreal Engine because it's so, like, the more specific of a thing you're looking for, the worse AI is going to be because it can't use its It's statistical brute force, you know, pattern prediction to give you a reasonable answer because it's so specific, right? Like there's just not enough data on it to give you a good answer. Is this Unreal? Yes, it is. Unreal C++ we're looking at right now. Okay, is valid task type. So now we need like a we basically need to do this for each step of the way. Is valid task target. So we need to pass in the task type, and I'm doing a T array of colonist tasks. That's not what I should be doing. So we want the task type E entity task type and then E colonist task target. And so that'll be like, you know, do I want you to go over there and chop that tree specifically, or do I want to select an area, or do I just want you to do it within a certain radius? So that'll be how you specify that with this enum. Task targets, add target type if it's valid. How many games have you made? 0. It's not implemented. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so I need to first make sure this is return is valid task type for the task type, and target not equal to target counts, and I guess target none, maybe? I don't know. Although we just that's basically the default. Okay, I think that's all I'll need to do. I need this data to train, but maybe in the future, who knows? I mean, the problem is Unreal, like, things differ drastically in different Unreal Engine versions, so there's also that to consider as well. But yeah, AI will get better and better, so I don't doubt that. It's just not as useful for Unreal Engine development as it is for other things at the moment. Okay, so I guess the... Yeah. This is good for now. So we really just need that list of task targets. And so now whenever I add this, you know, we can do what we need to do. And then I guess I'll eventually, I might as well write out the duration one as well. We'll do that right now. Task duration count. We need that to be hidden. Yeah, and let's do the UMeta display names. Equals, that can be just targets, that can be the same. RJ. Oh, come on, Copilot. You know what I want. I know you know what I want. You just suck at doing inline autocompletes. The one we have internal at Google is a lot better at that. Anyways, UMeta. Let me just copy this. It'll be way easier. Within radius, until time. Yeah, within radius, I need to switch over. Yeah. That one's going to be a weird one because I'll need to have the player specify like a value for that. You seem to know a lot about making this game. That's my main reason for asking. Yeah, I mean, I just know a lot about what I do. And so I try to generalize that as much as possible. I just kind of try to give my current understanding of things and what my methods of doing things are. Mount until display name target forever. Yeah, there we go. Keep doing task forever. I maybe want one for all, but we'll deal with that when we get there. Okay, so I want a function now for, you know the drill. Yep, you know the drill. So we need e array t enum as bytes, e colonist task duration, get available task durations. Yeah, that's a good enough name. Do I have too many? I have too many brackets there. Get available task durations. So now we need this plus also e colonist task target, task target, target. And then I will also need the is valid. Come on, you know. Come on. Okay, fine. I'll write it myself. Bool is valid task duration. There we go. Now we're fucking cooking. There you go, Copilot. Implement that. Implement that. Okay. Probably need to start like fucking nesting these things here. Okay. What do you do for a job? I'm a software engineer. Am software engineer. I hate that it keeps automatically putting those below that function. So we're just going to copy this and replace everything with that. You can do with this, or you can do with that. Or you can do with this, or you can do with that. Duration type is valid task duration, entity task type, task target. And so this then becomes return is valid task target and duration not equal to task duration count, and that's it. That's all I want you to do. Valid task duration. Okay, I think we're good there. Well, rather let's rename that for both of these. What is refact? Control Alt Shift T. What a horrible. No, I pressed Shift F6. Oh, I did Shift 6, not F6. Well, no, that one's named correctly. That one is named correctly. Shift F6. Duration types. Okay, now let's rebuild. Did you work at Blizzard for 7 years? No. Good meme, though. Gotta go, man. Best of luck. Okay, thanks for stopping by. Good luck to you as well. What's your favorite part of YouTube? I don't know that I have a favorite part of YouTube. JetBrains key combinations are even more horrible on Mac. Yeah, I'm not sure that there's a oh yeah, current task dot oh, do I not have a task target on the current task? I may need to add that. Yeah, I just have task type. But I'm not sure the keybinds are any better on like VS Code, for example, because you can always change the keybinds to like a VS Code one. They're like presets for that and stuff. Your favorite lang and future-proof lang in any suggestion? I don't have a favorite language. I only have, you know, they're just tools that get the job done, right? So whatever's the best tool for the job is my favorite one. and future-proof language. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong learning any of the popular ones. What language are you using? This is C++. This is Unreal Engine C++, which is like a specific flavor of C++. It looks a little different than normal CPP. What was the first rule you went, I will never follow? I'm not sure. I think I was too young to remember that. I was quite the little anarchist, quite the little rebel as a child. Two Bro Gamers, welcome in. Keep it, man. As much time as ever you're putting into the game, it will be badass. I know it. Thank you. I appreciate the encouragement. I do have to get off soon. Do you like making videos or live streaming? I haven't really made any videos, so I would say just live streaming. Get entity data blueprints, get self. We'll need to get the entity data. This is my ECS system data. So colony data. And then hit it with an is. Can I do like an is valid on there? No. That would be kind of cool. So if this is valid, get available task targets. I need to get the chosen, so I need to get available task types as well. Then I'll need to get I guess it doesn't matter if it's a copy or a ref. We'll just stick with a copy and pass that in there, but it will need to be at the index of the chosen option ID. So split that, a little bit of that, a little bit of that. Should be always valid, but I guess we can make sure. I mean, what could happen? I mean, I guess something, depending on what this function returns, it could happen, right? Something could change in the colonist that makes it invalid, but I guess I would want that to be invalid at that point. Okay, so get available task targets. Does streaming this help separate it from work? I wouldn't say it helps separate it from work. It kind of helps me focus a little bit sometimes, though. I do get sidetracked with chat and stuff, but I'm not like, you know, dicking around on my phone or anything when I'm streaming. You know, I'm pretty focused on working, so it helps with that sometimes. WoW or PS2 gameplay? Those are both top contender options. Okay, so for each of these, I guess let's make like let's pop all this into a function actually. Make it a little prettier. So let's call this make task targets options. I will need to pass in the chosen option here. I mean, two Bro Gamers are saying I would think so. It makes it more fun and not seem like work. I would think. I mean, I don't know. I just enjoy game dev all the time. It doesn't matter if I'm streaming or not. I always enjoy it. Much more fun than software engineering. Plain old fucking CRUD APIs and SQL queries. You know, not fun. What was this? Interaction options. Chosen option. Cool. Okay, so paste all that. Plop it down. Yeah, you're gonna be a little angry. I know. I know it hurts. Oh, that's the wrong. I need interaction text option. Chosen option. Okay. Boom. Okay, so now we're in here. So we get available task targets, and essentially we just need to Let's add a return on here for interaction options. And this will be, first of all, it'll be spelled wrong. That was intentional. You guys paying attention? It was spelled wrong. This will need to be an array of interaction option because I need to add the delegates on there. Yeah. So let's do a little sequence here. Sequence to return, promote this to a local variable, call it, we'll just call that options, and we'll be adding to that momentarily. Pop that there, grab me one of those boys. We're gonna add. And what are we gonna do here? Let's make here. We'll need to split that. Just make the index same as the ID same as the index. Create an event. Create a new matching event for that. Call that on task target selected. Do the same thing we usually do. And the same thing we usually do is call that function, which is probably just make a C++ for all that, but who cares? Create one for handle task target selected, which that will likely need the chosen option as well. Chosen option, make that an interaction text option. That is single. All the single ladies. All the single options. All the single options. Okay, back to this guy. So we set up the delegate to do nothing, which is wonderful. And then what we just do the toString on that. That's how we get it. I've just now learned. Pop that in there. Okay, so we've got all our options added. So now that should just display. Well, we need to call this function, don't we? Yeah, so make colonist task type options. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so we go in here, make task target options. I need the get chosen option there. And then what do I need to do? I guess I just need to set the options. We need to add to the get interaction option containers and add another one on there, and we can split that because it's just a struct that does nothing because blueprints kind of suck at nesting arrays. And that's what we need to do. And we'll basically just do the same thing for this one, right? Gonna be the same thing. Same thing, basically. Different, same thing. And so this is what make task. When task target is selected, then we make task duration options. So we're gonna be like quadruple fucking nested here. Can we move all these? Organize them a little bit. So I need the, I guess I need the two chosen options, right? So that's actually going to be kind of difficult. Some keyboard ASMR, yeah. I do like the little, it's a virtual key press sounds, but they're using the same switches that I have, so. Cherry Blues, yeah. Same switches as I have, so it's like you're actually here. Does it squirt? Yeah. Another day, another break, and I always come across your stream. Good content. Thank you. Love the consistency. To learn Unreal at some point and grasp what happens. Yeah, for sure. Thanks for stopping by again. This guy here, what are you making? Working on a video game. RPG Colony Sim Roguelite combo. Can we please see some proof of cowboys? There none exists, Turning Cog. There's no proof that cowboys ever existed. So I suppose that like we will have a chosen option, but I guess I kind of need to save them, don't I? I kind of need to save them. Like the chosen task types and shit. Because we're building out a task for the colonists to do. So I suppose I just need to save the, like start building out a colonist task. Right, so we should probably have a variable for that. Colonist tax. Task. So yeah, we should be building that out too. So that's probably what we should do when we select a task type. Set ref by var value, split that. No, can I set, we want to set target task, set members in colonist task. Oh, they're not blueprint read, right? Yeah, they are. Wait, what? Set task type. What? Oh, I have to do that? Okay. I thought there would be like a little variable that popped up for some reason. But yeah, I guess the struct's different. Yeah. Okay, fine. Fine. So this, instead of chosen option, and then like, we're gonna move this out. Move this out. And then you instead get passed in. We're just gonna use the, we can make it, let's make it granular and change this to the task target. Or task type is the first one we select. And so get task type. Okay, back that out, back that ass up. You know how we do. So that goes into here. You will need to go there first. Okay. Then we'll need to do something pretty similar in the oopsie daisy. Yeah. I will need to do something pretty similar in the other one. May I ask about your career path and how you got started? You may. I am just a software engineer, though, not a game dev. Wait, why can't I get... I keep thinking a struct is an object for some reason, and I don't know why. I keep making that cognitive assumption. What are you doing? Oh, yeah, we don't have the entity data. Get entity data BP. Get self. You know what? I do this so many times. I mean, I don't know. Should I write a function just to return that? I don't know. It's not like that important. Not that repeatable, right? AI is only slop if your prompts are slop, in my opinion. Yeah, good prompts do help. But sometimes it's just not consistent sometimes too, you know? Still. Wait, task, yeah, task type. I'm doing the wrong one there. Yeah, Copilot could use some work. Copilot's not that great at game dev. It's better than it used to be, though. That's for sure. How many days have you worked on the game so far? I don't have that breakdown. I don't have a day-to-day breakdown of that. It's been over 2.5 years. And the gray goo consumed all the light touches, like what happened in Lion King. Yeah, I think that is what happened in Lion King. I've been working on this game for about over 2.5 years, I'll say. Make task target options. We need to set the colonist task information here. Set colonist. Set members in colonist task. We are going to set the target here to the found one, which yeah, we want that and that. Get available task wait, did I need that? Yeah, because I'm getting get a copy, get chosen option, split that, get the index. There we go. Bing, bang, boom. Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. What are my noodles doing here? Goodness gracious. My noodles are out of control. 2 years I'm behind. Yeah, I've only been streaming for, I think it's been over a year now. There's some super old stream VODs on my YouTube where I don't have like a good mic and the audio's all scuffed and haggard. It's okay though. It's okay. Okay, so we set that. Make task target options. Wait. Handle task targets. This should be make. Where the hell am I? Make colony task type options. Handle task type selected. Make task target options. Handle task target selected. We need make. That's not what I don't know what I thought would happen when I did that. I was expecting to drag from the tab and get the node for some reason. Make duration options. Now this needs the both ecolonist task, task type, the task target, and I think that's good. And yeah, we need to output interaction options. An array. Interaction options. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3 bags full. Now we need to actually do something with the task duration options. Moxie, quit barking, please. Stop that. Options. We're going to add to that at some point. Moxie. Moxie. Sorry. She's so tooty, man. She's got a fucking attitude. What platform is this? You're on YouTube. Sorry, I'm being. This is Unreal Engine. Hey, Copilot Law, such a janky middleman for LLMs. I also have no experience with C++ with AI, mostly Python and web dev tech. Do you have a better auto-complete assistant than Copilot? Okay, so get available task durations for each through here. Each loop we're going to add. Make one there. That's... I need interaction text option. Oh, no. No. Okay. Okay. Split the pin, index, toString. Okay, so I'll fill that out in a second. If this is valid, go here. And then yeah, get task type, get task target. Okay, so now let's create a matching event on task duration collected. And we're going to create a new function, handle task duration selected. Which probably needs the chosen option. Where did it go? There it is. Interaction option. Interaction text option, actually. Mister. My dogs are getting very barky. I know. Moxie, come here. Can you shush? Window. Oh. Here's the other one. He's a little shy boy. All right. This looks like AI workflows in 8N. I have no idea what that means. Have Copilot review the fault and explain issue without using agent mode to find the reason your enum isn't functioning. Are you behind, Smuggle Murph? You might be way behind because, like, I'm way past that. I'm way past that issue. Learning this on the fly. To be honest, I knew how to recode PS2 games from out of PS2s like in 2005. That's pretty cool. What is it you're building with this code right now? Just a bunch of UI stuff. Nothing super exciting. What is this no-code box thing? This is Unreal Engine's visual scripting language called Blueprints. I have two dogs. One's a Yorkie named Mr. Famous. That was the second one. And then another one, Moxie. She's a Morkie. She was the first one. She's a little chunky pants. She's the chunkiest tiny puppy you ever did know. Okay, so what do I want to happen when you finally select the duration? I think, well, when you select different things need to happen. Mr. Famous, yeah. Welcome in, Adder. How you doing? I need to go to work now, though, unfortunately. So actually, let's just see if let's see if we made it work. Join my colony, do task, construct within radius. That's not the text I wanted. Almost there though. Almost there though. Why did the duration show up that way? Did I not? They have display names on them. Yeah, why did they show up that way? Right? I mean, I did it the same. Enum, wait. I did the wrong 2-string. Okay, that's... God damn it, I hate blueprints, man. Oh, I just want to write code. I don't want this stupid noodle stuff. That have all these like little tiny idiosyncrasies. Chop trees. We chose ID 1. Within area. Chose ID 2. Forever. Then nothing happened. There we go. There's our UI. There's our shitty little UI. So it does what I wanted it to do. But I think what I need to work on next is like for each one of these task types selected, like if you do chop trees and then target, that means like I just want you to go chop a single tree, right? So if you were to select the target, then that would kind of, I think that I would want to kick you out of this menu, like change the cursor to some like kind of target thing, and then change this option to say like select target, and then you can look at a tree. It'll do a line trace to it. You can select it. Then after you do that, then it'll kick it. Well, you probably don't need a duration if you're just doing target, because that'll just be like 1, right? You just want 1. So duration, we probably don't need the duration column here after that. I probably also want to do numbers on the side here, so you can press, instead of scrolling, you can just press the numbers. I think that would be a good accessibility option. Let's see. Within radius, I would need to specify a radius number. So I would need to have some input for a number. Like I would probably just have it be meters, and then you can just scroll or type in the meters or something. So a little some input for that. And honestly, I think I want to replace this. Like I don't need this box here, so probably get rid of that one. Like I just need these 3 to show up, so we can prevent the nesting a little bit as well. What ID to use? I use Rider by JetBrains. It's cool you make them chop area of trees. That's sick. Yeah, that's what I've been working on. So trying to tie the little area thing that I built, so you can like click and define an area, you know. And then this is like, this got the name of like area 1, right? So I could like, you know, hey, do task, you know, forage for berries within area. And then when you click area within area, there needs to be a thing where you can either, I think the option should be like select should be the first one, and that'll function the same as target, where you can then like just, you know, you can look at one on screen and be like that one, right? Or, and then the next option should be like a new area, and then that would kick you off into the build area mode just automatically. And then I think the rest of the list would be all the different area names, so you can select that way as well. And then you can, you know, you can look around while you're within a certain radius. Once you walk too far, it goes away though. I don't know, maybe that's kind of annoying if it goes away when you walk too far. But that's the flow. And I have had them, like one of my, it's so crazy. It was probably like a year ago. Let me actually try to find it. Probably like a year ago, I actually had them chopping trees. But it was on the old system. Choppy tree. Hang on, let me check this out. Oh yeah, the old terrain. It looks very similar still. I mean, it's all the same assets and stuff, but I think I got them chopping trees and stuff at some point. They're back when I had water. Yeah, but there's like the tree trace. This is on like, I was using behavior trees here. You see there's the colonist, and this is like pre-entity system. This is probably pre-world map as well. There was one stream where I had like a ton of them running around chopping trees. Oh yeah, and he would get like stuck. He's like stuck chopping a tree that's already chopped. It's UE5. I played a lot of games and I've never seen a game let you do that. Oh, well, you got to play more Colony Sim. Dude, look at all that math I had to fucking do to get them to chop the tree correctly. Look at that. I generate all the interaction points and line trace to the tree, trying to come up with a right one. There he goes. There we go. There's me right here. So I had this working. How long ago was this? Yeah, 1 year ago. Where was the stream where I had a bunch of them? Choppy tree. The epic saga continues. Yes. Oh yeah, here we go. I like put it on BRB and then I just let them all. There we go. We got multiples now. Yeah, he's chopping tree. There's the old interface as well. Looks the exact fucking same. There they go. It's so funny, like it looks the exact same, but I have done so much since then. Like the amount better that the underlying, I don't have water, so I don't have water anymore. But the amount better that the underlying systems are that do this, like, cause these are just actors, right? These are actors using behavior trees, which do not fucking scale. Like this already was not scaling very well. And there's like what, like 4 or 5 colonists? So behavior trees were never the answer. Nor were actors. Actors wouldn't scale either. So me writing the ECS system and putting it into state trees was imperative. Whoa, pre-Sauron. Yeah, can you see my cam out of here? There's my old. I have the Super Nintendo Lego there. Water is easy though, at least from a shader perspective. Yeah, I guess the visual of it is not what I'm worried about. The visual of it is not what I'm worried about. It's the interactivity with the rest of the world that I'm worried about. What made you want to make your own game like this? Just playing games and wanting to do my own take. Wanting to do my own take on them. Do you use Blueprint C++ or a mix? I do a mix, probably 80% C++ though. Yeah, they're just going and chopping. Oh, I guess they're kind of stuck now. Should be doing things. Look at them. Look at all those chopped trees. I think they were. Look at that. Look, I put it in fast forward too. So yeah, we'll get back here eventually. I still have all the logic for that. I just need to change it from behavior tree to state tree. So actually, I'm gonna need to change it all because even the spawning mechanisms I use, because I'm relying on collision here. These are all collision traces, and I can't do that anymore. So I actually have to grab the serialized PCG point data that I have now to grab which trees are around. So I do have to do it actually pretty differently here. You also create the animation system for these agents. These ones here are running on ALS. The ones I have now are VAT animations. So I did create, like I did do the system for that. But what we're looking at here is not, that's all like ALS out of the box movement, so. So funny, a fucking year ago, it doesn't look that much different. It looks a lot different to me. Like, I noticed the differences, but will there be Easter eggs to find? Oh, I'm sure there will be. That's a polished level thing, though. You know? Okay. Anyways, that was a little blast from the past. We'll get there eventually. But see, now I'll actually be able to define an area. Then they just went to the closest tree and they would just chop trees forever. That was the only option. But yeah, now I have this area system. It also works really well with like curvatures and stuff like that. That'll be really, really nice to have here. Of course, I picked an invalid location to show it off. Why is it blinking? Oh, is this an editor thing? I think the line traces are being weird. With cube marching, how did you ever solve normal seams between chunk borders? I don't actually have those solved. You can't really tell. You can't really tell. I know how to solve them. Like Sebastian Legg has a video in his series about it. One, like these are just texture differences, but the normals are different. You can tell. The way you have to fix that is for every chunk, you have to generate an extra ring of vertices that is the next chunk's vertices. And then when you're calculating the normals, the way you do it is by averaging the triangle normals of each chunk. Like, so for this triangle, or rather for this vert, it would be like the normals, like the average of like the connected ones, right? And so when you get to the edge, what happens is like this chunk doesn't have information about this chunk's vertices. So the way you solve normal seams is by generating one extra layer of vertices. And you can do that, you know, you just need to run your algorithm, whatever it may be. Easier with a height map, of course, but whether you're doing marching cubes or whatever, you need to generate an extra layer on the outside. And then that way you discard that at the end, right? You just keep that until you need the normals, and then you get rid of all those ones. And then that's how you make sure the chunks don't have normal seams. Right now, I don't do anything about that right now, because it's actually, when you put foliage and stuff on it, you can't really fucking tell that easily, you know? Like, where's my guy at? Let me find the closest, we'll just walk out there. I did that and it made a slight difference, but it didn't work. You might check, you might debug that a little bit and see what's going on. Like, yeah, you can't fucking see when there's like, you know, all this lighting and stuff. Did you learn C++ specifically or Unreal? Yes, I did. I did not know C++ before this. I did that and it made a slight difference, but it still didn't work. Yeah, I would just, you gotta debug, my brother. It, in theory, should work. Maybe the way you're calculating the normals is wrong, or the way you're generating the extra ring of verts is wrong. Yeah, debug. Maybe just show, you know, maybe don't get rid of the extra ring of verts. And just, you know, so take a look at that and see if they match up with the other chunk, you know? Make sure they look like what you expect them to look like. If they don't, then you'll know that's the issue. And then maybe you'll need to do some debug drawings for your normal vectors, you know, do the directional arrows. Make sure that those are pointing in the directions that you expect them to be. But yeah, I'm just doing slap a coat of paint on it. Yeah, cover it in foliage. That's what I'm doing for now. It's honestly not too huge of a deal for me. But yeah, I gotta hop off. I gotta go do work today. I think I might do a RimWorld is my favorite game of all time. Big inspiration for what I'm doing here. So if you guys haven't played it before, maybe tune in tonight. I don't know. Again, it's depends on how I feel, but maybe tune in this evening, which will be in about probably like, 8 hours whenever I'm done with work, maybe sooner. We'll see how much I get done, but, boo work. Yeah, I know. But yeah, I might stream RimWorld. There's a new expansion that came out today called Odyssey, and they've basically taken what is this really depthy colony sim, and they've added like grav ships to it. So like you can literally build a spaceship, and like there's some streamers that have gotten early access to it, and they've been building just like dicks. They've been building like dick spaceships, and it's fucking hilarious. So we might build a cocket ship or something, and you can just like fly around to different tiles in the world. And you can fly up in the, I guess there's like a, I haven't seen it yet, but you can like fly up into outer space, and you can like go to asteroids, and you can get like space pirate rated. And so there's a lot of new stuff in the new expansion. I'm very excited about it. So yeah, I have to get off and go to work though. So thanks everyone for hanging out with me. Let me see here what I can do. What can I do? I have forgotten how to do it. Cancel. Cancel, yes. Let me see who I can raid here. We're gonna raid Jed. Jed's still going. So yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out. A drawing vessel sounds like a great time. Hey, I'll give you a great time, Adder. I'll show you a great time. Yeah, if you guys are interested in that, maybe tune in later. But thanks everyone for hanging out. I hope you all have great days. It's a good stream, solid stream. Save your. Always remember to spay and neuter your dogs and save your progress. Thank you all, and good night.